Hey, this is Kristin Shaw, and I'm here with Mark Snyder. Mark is the chief engineer for Infiniti's QX60, which we're talking about here in Sonoma. Thanks for talking to me today.
Sure.
So I understand you've been with Infiniti for 32 years.
Yes, I've been working on many projects over the years and very excited about the QX60.
You've seen a lot of iterations of Infiniti. So what is exciting about the newest one, the QX60?
For me, the most exciting is we've taken this car and really raised the level in premium luxury for ride handling, acceleration, performance, and quietness. Those are key attributes for our customer, and I think we've really nailed it with this one.
Let's talk about the quietness for a little bit, because I understand you increased the absorption materials inside the vehicle. How did you do that without adding a lot of weight?
Well, the reality is we did add some weight, but we also removed weight so that we could manage the quietness to get it where the customer really wants it. You know, both from a conversation with the kids in the second and third row, as well as, you know, talking on the hands-free phone. You know, they don't want to have the background noise, and so we very selectively chose the different materials to take mass out of the car and able to allow us to add this isolation type materials.
So you really didn't need any of the sound deadening technology that some vehicles are using, Bose in particular, which provides the premium audio system for the autograph.
So Bose provides the premium autograph, but I think you're alluding to active noise cancellation or something
Yes.
like this. So we didn't need to go there. Our goal was really to make a quiet car versus trying to design a sound for the car. You know, so this isn't a sports car, it's a family SUV for the premium customer. And what we really aimed for was just quiet. So it's really important to be quiet from all dimensions. So you don't want like some noise from the rear can be really annoying. So, you know, not only from the acceleration noise from the engine, but the road noise from the tires and wind noise, getting this balanced, actually very quiet level of performance, that was our goal.
And some of that quietness comes from the materials that you added to the roof, is that right? Or how did you alter the roof to make it so that you can't hear raindrops so hard?
Yes, well, there's actually two aspects. So one is the kind of raindrop noise. We've put some kind of sound absorbing material between the metal and the headliner, what you see, you know, looking up in the car. So that works for the raindrops, but also other high frequency noises. But also the structure of the roof to help low frequency booming noise was very specifically designed with additional mastic or some low or butyl materials that would absorb that lower frequency.
Did you say butyl materials?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Maybe in layman's terms, it's more like asphalt, or it's a kind of
Like a layer?
yes, that we put on the roof to absorb the low frequency vibration.
Okay, so I know also that the new QX60 has better aerodynamics. And how did you achieve that? That also can contribute to the quietness of the cabin, right?
Yes, you know, aerodynamics is really important from both a fuel economy, so slipping through the air seamlessly or easily, and to avoid kind of wind noise. So there's many different features to get this kind of aerodynamic performance, like an active grille shutter, so that we bring in cooling air for the engine when it needs it, but when we close that shutter, we can get better aerodynamic performance. Then, in addition to that, the grille opening, so we've seen this very nicely designed grille with kind of an origami shape, but some portions of it are actually blocked off and some portions are open, balancing the engine cooling needs with the aerodynamic needs. Then we have other areas, like as you go under the floor, you want the airflow to be very smooth. So we have features and undercovers under the whole underfloor area to help that flow, smooth flow. And even in front of the tires, there's some kind of walls that will help deflect the air around the tire to improve the aerodynamics. And as we move to the rear of the car, we have the spoiler, which is pretty traditional, but we actually have fairly large winglets and the shape of the rear corners of the car are really designed to optimize this kind of coefficient of drag, so we can have good quietness performance as well as fuel economy.
From a physics standpoint, the winglets remind me of what they put on airplanes to improve the fuel economy and aerodynamics of the plane.
Correct. It's fundamentally the same physics whether you're in the sky or driving on the ground.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the performance of the QX60, because we know it's a luxury SUV, 3 rows, so this is for your target customer, professional working mother or parent. Tell me about the performance of the vehicle and how it relates to the previous model.
Well, so we've made a number of improvements. So we already talked about quietness, but coupled with that, we have our V6 engine, but this time coupled with a 9-speed transmission. And this transmission gives us a larger gear ratio. So when you start out in the first gear, you can really get that jump start to go, whether you're at a stoplight or merging on a short highway ramp. But at the high end of the gear ratio, we get good fuel economy as you're cruising down the highway. So this kind of good fuel economy and excellent acceleration performance is kind of the good balance with that nice quietness. And the other aspect is this kind of ride comfort and handling. Many times this is seen as a trade-off, but what we did is increase the structure of the vehicle so we could have a better starting point to tune in the ride comfort and the handling. And we really wanted, for our target customer, we really wanted to avoid harshness. So like some going over railroad tracks feeling this big impact, or some continuing bouncing after those things. So we have shock absorbers with double piston valves that will work both on a chatter type surface or a long undulating surface. So this technology allows us to manage both of those road conditions. Then for ride comfort, we tune the whole suspension and every one of the bushings in order to make the kind of ride comfortable. But even on the winding roads we drove this morning, there's a confident feel. The steering is electronic power steering, where we tuned it at the different speeds for different assist to give you that confidence. The car's going right where you're aiming, and you're confident in your drive.
And the steer-by-wire is also different, right? And that makes space in the console area?
So this car is not steer-by-wire, so it's a electric power steering assist, but the understorage in the center console is enabled by a shift-by-wire mechanism. So using the shift-by-wire, we don't have the mechanical devices connected to the transmission, but using the wiring, and it opened up a very large space, for our customers, can put a purse or a big camera or, many different things.
Now, you're also very familiar with the transmission and the power plant for the Nissan Pathfinder, the new one. What are the similarities, or how are they different between the new Pathfinder and the QX60?
The powertrain is basically the same, but each vehicle was tuned to the specific customer. So in the premium segment, we're using high octane fuel, then all of the emissions and fuel economy calibration is tailored to that particular fuel. So, with the high octane fuel, you get a little bit higher power and torque ratings. The key point is connecting this powertrain to the vehicle and having the overall performance, that smooth, crisp performance with the acceleration pedal.
Okay, I've been enjoying driving it today.
Great.
Thanks for your time.
Okay, thank you.